Hi there, it's Debbie LaChusa, the business stylist, and I'm coming to you today from my desk in my home office. And I want to talk to you about this concept of getting rich quick and why it doesn't really exist. Now, you may be nodding your head and saying, I know, I wish it did, but I don't believe in get rich quick schemes. But I think deep down, a lot of us still hold this, thought that it's going to happen really quickly for us. And we're looking at people out there who are really successful and we're modeling them, and we expect our business to look like theirs in a relatively short period of time. And the reality is that behind all those success stories are usually years of experience and multiple businesses and failures. Very rarely do we find somebody who shoots to the top really, really quickly. Yes, it does happen sometimes. The planets align and they have a great idea at the right time and everything hits. But that's the exception, not the rule. For most people, they're going to be at it for a while. I know in my case, I started slowly. I started part-time while I was still doing contract work, and I built my business over time. And I can tell you that I've been in business since 1998, and my business has evolved completely from what I started with. When we start, we're starting with what we think we want to do, or we're starting with what we know, or we've gotten a coaching certification or something and we're out there and starting with that business. But the reality is, until you get out there and you start doing it and you start testing it and trying it and seeing what happens, you don't really know what's going to happen. You can take all the right steps, but sometimes still you might not have everything exactly right. So it takes some time and some patience. It takes sticking with it consistently and being willing to make changes and fine-tune. A few years ago, when I was really heavy into going to personal and professional development conferences, I was sitting in a conference and T. Harv Eker, the founder of Peak Potentials, was speaking, and it was a business conference. And I had heard him speak many times before. I had taken a lot of his programs, but this was the first time I heard him actually say that, I think he said it was like 10 years in the making, his success, and he was at the epitome of his success at that time. And he talked about all the businesses he had started, and they were all different kinds of businesses, and some were successful and some not, and what he learned from all of them and how they had all brought him to where he was in this training business, which was a completely different type of business than he had started with. And I think for most successful people, that's kind of how it happens. I know that's kind of how it's happened in my business, is that you get out there and you start doing something. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn what you like doing, what you don't like doing. You learn what works, what doesn't work. And you evolve until you get to a point where everything kind of hits, you hit your groove. Everything sort of comes together and it starts to work really well. It feels comfortable. You feel like you know it really well, and you've worked out all the kinks. So that may take you multiple businesses, or it may just take you multiple attempts in the same business and lots of fine-tuning. But I think if you talk to any service professional who's doing really well, they will tell you that their pathway to success has been kind of like that. It's not this straight line from start to success. It's this wavy, wandering path of finding your way there. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. If you can focus on the journey and what you're learning and really being present instead of always focusing on where you want to be and being frustrated that you're not there, it can be a wonderful adventure, a great learning experience. And if you embrace it that way and take the learning, I've had lots of businesses. They haven't all been successful. Some of the failures have been expensive and heartbreaking, and at the same time, they have given me some of the greatest lessons and helped me get where I am today a lot more quickly than I would have had they not happened. So I think it's going into it knowing that and being realistic. And hey, if you hit it big quick, bravo, know that you are the exception. But if you're just getting into business now, or you're in your first year and it's like, oh, this is a struggle, why isn't this working? Just know that you'll get there. Stick with it. Keep at it. Keep doing what you need to do. If there's something you don't know how to do or you're not very good at, go learn how to do that better and keep improving. And eventually, if you don't give up, you'll get there. It may take some time. That's all. And hey, you know what? That's life. So I hope this tip has been helpful. This is Debbie LaChusa, the business stylist. Until next time, take care.